Hi, this is Dr. Auto Fix here on 407. Our customer complaint on this car is that this car is missing fire, and he brought it to my garage so that we can be able to diagnose it and know exactly what the problem is. You know, 406 car or 407 car aren't always very simple to fix like some other cars, but here people get me some different kinds of renegade cars that are throwing tantrums and feeling stubborn to the owner, and I gotta play the part of the counselor between the both parties that marry themselves, the owner of the car and the car, so that there could be a peace. Now I got in with this car. I'm just doing this for the purpose of helping most of you guys who might be stuck in that kind of a situation and you're trying to do it yourself. And if you are one of those kind of person, kindly subscribe to our channel as a way to support me on helping you to fix a problem as a DIY or even a mechanic, which is going to be much more quicker even before you get to look at the engine bay and know what to look out for. If you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell icon, then
what do you have to lose by trying something new? Like, what do you have to lose? I say it again, what do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose?
to my channel and hit the notification bell icon, then stick back around and let me show you what I did and what I found in this very car. And I hope it does help you to fix your problem, even though if it doesn't help you, stick tuned, because some other time you might be able to come across some other information which I'm going to be dropping on this channel that's going to be helping you to fix your car. So I've started it, and the first thing which I did here is, since it's a misfiring situation, in this episode of troubleshooting a misfiring problem in 407, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to be able to rule out this kind of problem, because trying to solve a misfiring problem with a single unit multiple ignition system could be very hectic, because you wouldn't be able to know if it's actually this one right here that is causing the problem. But the easy way to be able to rule out that problem is when you have a spare from another car that is already functioning very well. When you get it inside it and you crank it over, if the problem persisted, then fine, it means that one is not a problem. Then it means you have to put it aside and start looking out for other problems, other components inside the car, such as the injectors and the sparks and some other the wirings. So in the case of a wiring problem, a misfiring problem, every component regarding to ignition becomes a suspect. You have to try them all, and they have to pass.
Where did you learn to count?
After removing this ignition coil out of the way, ignition coil control module out of the way, then it's time for you to grab a 16mm socket and extension and get it right in there and do what you gotta do to get it out. So when you get it out, then it's time for you to critically look at each of the ignition spark plugs one after the other, because that is going to have a clue to exactly what the problem is. They give a very precise information about how the cylinder is firing. So if there is anything that looks a little bit different from the other, then probably you will find the spot. You've have the big catch. You've have a very big catfish right there, which you're going to be frying for the day. So in this case, when you're removing it, if you remove the spark from number one cylinder, you have to keep it at number one cylinder, arrange it well. If you remove the two, put it in the second position. If you remove three, put it in the third position. Arrange it according to the cylinder, so you don't have to do any mistake when you're trying to analyze the problem. So what you want to do here is you want to pull out the first plug here and you drop it here. You pull out the second plug that is here, the spark plug, and drop it somewhere here, or find something where you're going to arrange it all right, according to the cylinder which you removed it from. Okay, something that you have to understand here is there are two possible things, symptoms which you're going to be seeing right here. Is either going to be that the ignition spark is wet or is dry. So let's say that the ignition spark is wet. If it is wet, it means there could be no power from the injectors going there, or there could be defective injectors or ignition coil.
Where did you learn to count?
Okay, let's say in a situation where the ignition spark you put out of the cylinder is completely dry, that could mean a different thing entirely. It could actually be as a result of a low pressure fuel pump or some sort of a failed pressure regulator control system that is within the fuel line. Okay, so this is the ignition spark that was pulled out from that very Peugeot 407. So if we can analyze them by cylinder, this one fires very good without being rich, and this one also fires very good without being rich. And this one here, you can see this spark is wet with oil. All right, so as this one is wet with oil and the three of them aren't wet, so there is a problem with that very cylinder. There could be injector or anything. So let's look further, and this one is actually on the number 3 cylinder. So let's take a look at what the injector of that very cylinder looks like. Okay, over here you can see the injectors which is pulled out of this very system. The number 1, which is on your far left, is clear. The number 2, which is second to that, is clear. Then take a very good look at number 3 right there. Number 3 is a little bit brownish compared to the number 2. Compared to number 4, number 4 is clear. So it's still pointing the same thing, the same indication that we saw from the analytics of the sparks, how the sparks was performing while inside the cylinder that I just showed you previously before coming to this very section right here. So with two very indication that we have indicated that we have it right here, the injectors is speaking the same language that the ignition spark is speaking, then it's gonna draw more attention to either be able to understand if it is the ignition coil control module that is having a problem, or the power going to the injector, or the injector that is defective. So either way, you are going to run a test to be able to figure out exactly, especially on the injector, to know if the injector is a problem or the spark. But there is no way, in as much as all the sparks are the same, that the spark is going to be the problem. So, and if the injector is not firing, you can't just go straight up to go and replace the injector, because for the fact that the injector is not firing doesn't mean that the injector is bad. It could be that there is a problem with the wiring harness. So you want to also, in a situation of that kind of a problem, you want to check this kind of wiring harness and make sure that nothing is broken, and you want to go further to start checking the injector wiring harness from number 4 or from number 1, anyone where you start from it. So as soon as you look at it, and you should inspect it properly to make sure that nothing is broken or out of place there. That's number 1 right there, and this is number 2. This one is a little bit pale, but I don't think this is gonna cause a problem. You also want to manually test the injectors. We have pulled these injectors out, and the way to test it, you can send a direct 12 volt to it, and if it responds, then if it clicks, then it's working, shows that it's working. But if it doesn't click, then it means that one could be bad. Okay, but in this very car right here, I just figured out that this very number 3 injector wiring connector have a problem. There is the power that's supposed to be coming from the ECU to actually power up this injector tray is broken, is ripped off. And when I take a very good look at it, when I zoomed in, you might not be able to see it right now. There has been a serious play, intermittent power cut out and connect right there. So that ping pong thing has been the problem. And I guess we'll find a problem. Okay guys, now that you can be able to proficiently diagnose and rule out that the ignition coil is not a problem, that the spark plug is not a problem, and even the injectors are not the problem, but the wiring harness, the power that comes from the ECU to feed the injector is a problem, I think is a very good win. So right now, kindly hit the subscribe button of our channel, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and I gotta catch you guys later. Bye for now.